Chapter 34. It rained outside. Siv marched around and seriously thought about going home. This trip had been a depressing failure. Despite her efforts, she had not been able to get in contact with the royal family, and she did not even want to think about the disaster at just another talent show. The day after the audition, she had stormed in at the Airbrush Media headquarters to confront the producer guy. She came in as he was sitting behind his desk and talked on the phone.
"Ah, Siv,"
he started.
"Good that you were here. I've been meaning to talk with you."
He caused her to lose balance. She thought that he would be terrified, but he seemed happy to see her. She walked around the desk. He was sitting on one of those chairs with wheels, so she grabbed hold of the chair and rolled him into the corner.
"What the hell are you talking about?"
"Well,"
he said a little bit nervously.
"I wanted to talk with you. There was a problem with your audience."
"You can bet your sweet ass. They had no idea who I was and threw me out of the theater."
"That's what I wanted to talk with you about. You see, I talked with the judges, but they didn't accept the money. They were insulted, said it was too little. They knew who you were, but refused to recognize you because they wanted more money."
"And why didn't you tell me this?"
"Well, you didn't give me any contact information."
"But I called you a week ago, and then you said that everything was fine."
"I was still discussing with them. I was sure that they would agree eventually, so I did not want to worry you."
"But if you just would have told me this, I could have just given them more money, and then none of this would have happened."
"I did not know you were prepared to spend more money. But you were right. If you're prepared to spend more money, that would certainly solve the problem. I just felt embarrassed since I had promised that you would only have to pay $1 million to win. So, how much money would you be prepared to spend?"
he said, and wriggled uncomfortably in his chair like a snake.
"How much do the judges want?"
Siv said. She felt much calmer now, almost a little guilty. When she first came here, she was going to murder him because he'd ruined her chance to win just another talent show. But now it turned out that it was not even his fault. It was those greedy bastards who had humiliated her in front of all those people. It was their fault, but now that there seemed to be a solution, she became hopeful.
$3 million?
The producer straightened up.
$3 million. $1 million each.
"You're not sure?"
"No, I'm sure. $3 million, $1 million each. You have to understand these people are already rich. They don't care about some 250,000 pounds.
Siv said sarcastically.
"Not as rich as I am. You will stay here. I'll go and get the money."
As she walked out, she passed the security guard that had tried to stop her as she got in. Another girl helped him to stop his nosebleed with some cotton balls.
"Hey, I am sorry,"
Siv said when she saw that the guard looked at her.
"But you tried to stop me."
Who would have thought that her straightforward attitude and lack of imagination would make her vulnerable to liars? She had been thinking about going back, but she was just too embarrassed. She'd shot herself in the head several times in the last couple of days. This was just the start of a long period of isolation. She promised herself to be much more careful with which people she would let into her life, and then carried it out consistently. She spent nearly 5 months at the British Library, in her studies about the Golem Heart. She came across thousands of books about the Holy Land, the Middle Ages, and the Crusades. She lost focus here. It was a detour that would cost her several months, but God, what a thrill it was! She fell for the stories about religious intolerance, killing your enemy just because he had a different opinion, about God and stuff. She totally understood why you had to use the heart of a king or, say, a knight in shining armor to create a golem, the most mindless creature in history. She sighed. Religious intolerance like that just did not exist anymore. If somebody wanted to talk with her, she told them to leave her lonely or pretend to be mute and begin to wave with her hands so it looked like she spoke sign language. It worked perfectly well, until one day when she stood in line to buy a coffee before she went to bed. The guy behind her had asked her something. She was not sure what, and had just started waving with her hands like they were two cobras, saying, "Careful, I will bite you," until he backed off, saying, "Oh, sorry." And then like 2 minutes later, when it was her turn to order, she said without thinking,
"Black coffee, extra large."
And then there was this awkward moment when she had to turn around and hide a smile behind the mug. When she came out, she started to laugh, which was good. Normally in such situations she had to shoot herself in the head over and over again. Then she drank the coffee and lay awake until the late afternoon, just staring at the ceiling. She had stopped reading How to Get Friends and How to Keep Them, but she still sent a postcard to Timmy. where she told the truth about what happened with her golem heart.
I'm not making any progress with my golem heart. I've not made any friends here in London yet, but it's better that way. I have to be lonely so that I can focus on my work. Hope you're doing well. Miss you.
Then she scratched out that last thing with the pen until you could not read it anymore.